Gunde Bengtsson defends tonight on the same 11 who did so well at Pataudry 2 weeks ago, with the Holmgren brothers in midfield and that highly rated striking partnership of Torbjorn Nielsen and Johnny Ekstrom again out to test the Aberdeen defence. Ekstrom in particular has a big opportunity tonight, 20 years old, on the European stage, and he could inspire a big money transfer move. And Aberdeen are without Neil Simpson and Frank McDougall, who aren't fit enough to play tonight. But Eric Black passed the fitness test, and he plays up front alongside John Hewitt, with Ian Angus showing his versatility by stepping into the number 8 jersey, vacated by Simpson. But it's a big night up front for Black and Hewitt, back in the Ullevi Stadium, where they scored the goals which beat Real Madrid in the European Cup Winners' Cup 3 years ago. So a vital 90 minutes for Aberdeen. It's a match in which they have to score a goal if they're to reach the semi-finals of the Cup. With a 2-2 first leg result, they have to win the match here tonight or draw by at least 2 apiece to go to extra time. So a vital task ahead for the front men in particular, Black and Hewitt, and there will be a question mark, I think, about the fitness of Eric Black up front. He was very doubtful indeed before the match, although Alex Ferguson clearly was very anxious to have him in the side. So the partnership of Black and Hewitt, very important indeed. And there's the referee, Frans Vera, very experienced official, as Gothenburg launched their first attack of the match. Alec McLeish struggling a little at the start, and there's Ekstrom with the first shot, Nielsen rather, with the opening shot, sending it above the top corner, but the Gothenburg attack showing their menace early in the match. Now we are Svensson very close to him again, and Roland Nielsen capitalising on the challenge. Good play from Roland Nielsen and from Willie Miller for Aberdeen. A decisive clearance, and Black, I'm sure, will be penalised for that push on Glenn Heeson, the Gothenburg number 3. Not much doubt about this, I'm sure. Black lunging into Heeson, forcing the miss, but Gothenburg have the free kick. Heeson to take it. Thumped out, but a little bit of alarm again among the Aberdeen defenders as Nielsen won the high ball. Angus running into Larsson, fighting hard for the ball on the ground, but it's played all the way back to Wernersson and the Gothenburg goal. Nielsen to Ekstrom. Pettersson rather, very similar looking players, Pettersson and Ekstrom. Good challenge by Neil Cooper. Weir. And this time the free kick goes to Aberdeen. It's Heeson who's the offender this time rather than the victim, and the victim for Aberdeen was John Hewitt. So Brian Mitchell will take the free kick for Aberdeen. Alex Ferguson looks pensive, has some instructions for his men on the field. A chance now for Aberdeen, and it's played away by Larsson from Eric Black. And just for a split second, Eric Black appeared to have a shooting chance for Aberdeen. It would be their first of the match. It was the header which set it up. There was Black waiting for it to fall kindly for him, and Larsson stepped in. So Weir showing his two-footedness with the corner kick on the left, the in-swinger with the right foot. Thumped away to safety and collected by Mitchell. The pressure applied by Ekstrom meant it was only safe to use Leighton. McKimmie through the middle. Hewitt nodding it back to Angus. Here's Weir. Good play by Roland Nielsen, forcing Weir inside. Angus now has Hewitt on the touchline. Well, John Hewitt trying to loop that ball across to bend it towards Eric Black in the middle. But it didn't come off, and Wernersson can breathe more easily again. Poor kick out, collected by Weir. Nielsen getting back very quickly to his defensive chore. Here's Mitchell working against his hand, a right-footed player in that situation. Here's Angus, who is left-sided. Good pass to Mitchell. Neat piece of play, releasing Weir on the left. Trying the early cross this time, but Roland Nielsen doing a fine defensive job in midfield for Gothenburg. Blocking the cross. Eason's block again. Miller heading it forward. Larsson with lots of time to make the clearance. And Aberdeen really have had the better of things, I would say, over the piece in the first half. A solid performance. Very safe at the back. They've been solid in midfield and just looking for the odd flash of inspiration up front from Black, Hewitt and Weir to make all the difference to their chances of going through. Bet couldn't get away from Tommy Holmgren. McKimmy's throw back to McLeish. It's won by Larsson. Helped on by Fredriksson. Black with the layoff, back to Cooper. Angus now changing the point of the Aberdeen attack. Brian Mitchell. Mitchell's in trouble. This could be dangerous now for Aberdeen. Roland Nielsen going through. He has Nielsen going to his right, and that opportunity is wasted by Roland Nielsen. Never quite appeared set for the shot, and that's a spot of relief for Brian Mitchell, who lost possession, allowing Nielsen to make this long run forward, looking for the shooting chance, and no problems for Jim Leighton. So Cooper lofting it forward, headed by Heason. Weir. Being closed down very well by Roland Nielsen once again. Here's Angus. McKimmy getting in on the attacking act. That's for Bet. McKimmy again. Bet finding space on the right. Peter Weir turning it back. And Black challenging at the near post as Wernerson collects the ball. And referee Vera brings the first half to an end with Aberdeen on the attack, and there's no question about it. Aberdeen have had the better of things in that opening 45-minute period, and the message for the second half must be that Aberdeen can win the match. The last action of the first half showing Aberdeen on the attack with Betts cross, Weir turning it Black. Black couldn't get a foot to the ball. So the half-time score, Gothenburg 0, Aberdeen 0. McLeish's header. Heason clearing up. Nielsen. Peterson lofting it to the left where Tommy Holmgren waits. He appears to have recovered from the ankle knock he took in the first half. This is Peter Larsson. Looking for the return pass, and Leighton smartly off his line as Larsson burst into the box. The central defender joining the attack, and now having to sprint back to position. And just running straight into Roland Nielsen. Alec Ferguson clearly not happy with certain aspects of the Aberdeen play in the opening stages. Gothenburg clearly anxious themselves about the prospect of losing a goal. Not playing in customary fashion for a home side in Europe. Taking no chances, depending on Nielsen and Ekstrom up front. Not tempted to send any further players into attack. Holmgren to his brother Tommy. It's for Nielsen. Oh, that's great play from Peter Weir in a tight situation. Retained his composure, and the Swedish supporters certainly enjoyed that. Some warm applause for the Aberdeen player. This is Ian Angus. Bet trying to find space on the right. You see how little there is with two defenders closing in, Tommy Holmgren and Stig Fredriksson. The feature of the Gothenburg play is the fact that they don't allow either fullback to be exposed without cover from a midfield player. They appear to work in pairs. Certainly served them well tonight. Here's Peter Weir. Back towards Neil Cooper. Just a fleeting glimpse of goal as he shot and was challenged at the same time. That was promising for a moment for Aberdeen. But look at this from Peter Weir. Right inside his own penalty area. Could so easily have panicked. So a substitution now for Gothenburg, taking off Svensson, the right full-back, and sending on Kuhlberg, number 16. Stefan Kuhlberg coming on. I wonder if Svensson took a knock because he appeared to be playing very well indeed against Weir. We'll see if there's any change in tactics from Gothenburg as a result of that change. McKimmie takes the return from McLeish. Cut off by Fredriksson. So there's the fullback, Ruben Svensson. We won't see much more of Peter Weir tonight, at close quarters at any rate. Hewitt crowded out there by Gothenburg players. It's picked up by Peterson. Nielsen has found space. Miller cutting across. He's lost out to Nielsen. Miller's in trouble, and Nielsen stood in the ball. Some howls for a penalty kick, but clearly there was no infringement there. Bjorn Nielsen knows that. The shake of the hand tells all. We'll see it again. Miller appeared to be in command, stumbled, lost possession to Nielsen. Nielsen going inside. You see him stumbling as he stood in the ball.
Keep running on his dead. Hey.
Alec Ferguson's instructions. Telling John Hewitt, the defender, is running out of stamina. Well, that was delightful play at the edge of the box, but it's Aberdeen who win possession. Some good defending also. And this match really is now hotting up. Getting into the critical phase of the match. In the middle of the second half. Both sides know that a goal for either of them could decide the match. But it's still Gothenburg with that vital advantage carved out at Pittodrie 2 weeks ago. Here's Holmgren. Danger now for Aberdeen. What a tremendous tackle that was by Willie Miller. That was Willie Miller at his very best. Reckoned to be one of the best penalty box defenders in the world, and Tommy Holmgren certainly found that out the hard way. Just watch this. Holmgren going inside, appears to have a gap, and there goes Miller. Activity on the Aberdeen bench tells another story. Billy Stark warming up. Frank McDougall also. Well, Stark, the scorer of a lot of goals this season for Aberdeen, 12 in all from midfield. Frank McDougall has scored 17 times. So a double change. And Aberdeen are certainly now going for broke. Taking off Brian Mitchell for one. And Eric Black is the other. McLeish doing well for Aberdeen at the back, and McKimmie turning that into attack as quickly as possible, but not with enough accuracy. Holmgren again gets the verdict as Cooper again goes in with foot up. So the minutes now ticking away for Aberdeen. Gothenburg clearly content to hold what they have for the moment, or are they? Here's another move forward, and Neil Cooper making a challenge on Nielsen. Dougal to bet, but it's Angus who has to scramble it away once more. And again, a loose ball falls to a player in blue and white. Nielsen. Leighton going across his goal line very quickly indeed as Roland Nielsen's shot came in. We've seen more attempts on goal in the last 10 minutes from Gothenburg than in the whole first half. There it is again. It was never really a serious problem for Leighton. Cooper finding Stark with that early ball from defence. Holmgren making life tough for Billy Stark. And again, the Swedes hunting in pairs. Cooper took a knock after he played the ball to safety. Not at all happy with the challenge from Holmgren. And indeed, the referee has given the verdict to Aberdeen, but 15 minutes only of the match left as referee Frans Berger incurs the wrath of the Swedish fans. 15 minutes for Aberdeen to revive their European Cup hopes. They have to find the net in that closing period. And in fairness to Gothenburg, that has looked less likely in the last 15 to 20 minutes. There's Bet. Good effort from Bet. It certainly wasn't far away. See it from behind the goal, and Wernerson was worried all right. Well, how that would have been welcome in Aberdeen. Winning it from Nielsen. Stark with a touch. One for Ekstrom to chase. And he's there ahead of Stuart McKimmie. Well, that's fine play from Ekstrom again. Chance for Gothenburg. It was Peterson who wasted it with a shot which appeared to be deflected. Sheer genius here from Ekstrom. Getting away from McKimmie, the ball certainly still in play, pulling it back into the path of Peterson. It appeared to take a deflection. But one flash of inspiration up front could change all that. Can anyone provide it for Aberdeen? Here's Johansson going all the way forward. And McKimmie having to drag the ball away from Leighton. View of the attentions of Johansson. Ekstrom turned it out, and that'll be an Aberdeen throw, but the Gothenburg players, sensing a semi-final place, working extremely hard to deny Aberdeen any last chance to save the tie. Eason thumping it forward. Nielsen's in behind the Aberdeen defence. Still Nielsen. That would settle it, but the whistle is gone. It will not count. Nielsen looks aghast at the referee, but the goal will not stand. A marvellous bit of skill, though, from Nielsen. But he did a bit of pushing as he went to collect the ball, and that's why it was chalked off. So Aberdeen breathe again as Johansson goes forward. And Willie Miller turns it back to Leighton. Leighton certainly had the whistle. It wasn't an offside flag, I don't think, although it looked suspiciously offside in that situation. The whistles all around the stadium. The Swedish supporters waiting, and there goes the final whistle. Aberdeen go out of the European Cup. 0-0 on the night. That would have been an excellent away score, but for the tragedy in Aberdeen a fortnight ago, that's where the tie was lost. Aberdeen battled hard enough, particularly in that first half, but Gothenburg reacted to assert themselves splendidly in the second half. And in the end, they go through to the semi-final on merit, and I'm sure they will certainly not disgrace themselves in that stage of the competition.
So there it is, Aberdeen playing 2 quarter-final ties, losing none of them, but alas, out of the competition. And joy in Belgium tonight for Anderlecht, whose critical away goal in that 2-1 away defeat at Bayern was countered by a 2-0 victory at home tonight, putting them through nicely in aggregate against their old German rivals by 3-2. And alas, no giant killing in Finland tonight, where Lahti moved the game to the Olympic Stadium in Helsinki, a country still, of course, gripped by bitter winter, lots of frost about and snow still in Finland. They moved it there where there's undersoil heating, but alas, Stoja Bucharest scored the only goal of the tie to go into